let's dive right in. Today, we're doing an explainer on a deeply chilling double homicide out of Madhya Pradesh. It's a case that has completely shocked both the local community and, frankly, even seasoned investigators. We're going to break down the facts, the timeline, and the utterly bizarre forensic clues that turned a tragic crime scene into this incredibly complex psychological puzzle. So, the scene is set in Ganj Basoda's Ward Number 8, right in the Vijisa district of Madhya Pradesh. You know, it's the kind of neighborhood where people just go about their daily lives expecting total normalcy. But this is exactly where a grim discovery would uncover a truly shocking level of violence. It forced local law enforcement to confront a case unlike anything they typically see around there.
When we look at cases like this, we really have to ask ourselves, how do investigators piece together a tragedy when the most crucial piece of evidence isn't a weapon or a witness statement, but is deliberately left on the walls of the room itself? I mean, when there's no one left to speak for the victims, the environment has to tell the story of those final moments. And, as you're about to see, a crime scene can speak volumes about the psychology of a killer.
This contrast right here brilliantly illustrates the chilling calm of the suspect we're looking at today. Think about it. In the vast majority of criminal investigations, human instinct kicks in, right? The perpetrator flees the scene, they try to hide the evidence, maybe build an alibi. But here, no way. Instead of fleeing like typical criminals, the accused did the exact opposite. He stayed in the room. He sat right beside the victims through the entire night and chose to leave a highly visible confession.
Part 1. The Lipstick Confession. A chilling message.
The sheer brazenness of what was left behind is just staggering. Written explicitly in lipstick on the wall, directly above the victims, were the words, "I killed her, she lied to me, she had a relationship with someone else." By leaving this message, the suspect wasn't just confessing to the act, you know? He was actually offering investigators a highly disturbing window into his motive, his twisted sense of justification, and the calculated premeditation behind the whole thing.
In modern investigations, police almost always look for a camera first. But in this specific location, there was absolutely zero immediate CCTV footage available to capture the events leading up to the crime. Because of that major blind spot, the wall itself became the breakthrough that police desperately needed. That lipstick message effectively became the prime witness, handing law enforcement an immediate narrative and a very clear suspect to pursue.
Moving on to Part 2. The Volatile Relationship. Escalating Disputes.
The victims of this horrific crime were 36-year-old Ramsaki Kushwaha and her very young daughter, 3-year-old Manvi. To give you some background, Ramsaki was actually separated from her husband. She was just trying to navigate a new chapter in her life, bringing her young child into a brand new household dynamic. And that new dynamic involved the accused, a man named Anuj Vishwakarma, who's also known locally as Raja. Ramasaki had been in a live-in relationship with him for the past several months. They shared the same living space, which tragically means the threat didn't come from some stranger outside. It came from the very person she was sharing her daily life with.
Now, neighbors were fully aware that the couple fought frequently. It's a domestic reality that unfortunately a lot of people just sort of normalize. But listen to this. Absolutely no one anticipated this leap from vocal disagreements to irreversible, calculated physical violence. It really highlights a terrifying reality of how quickly a known, everyday situation can escalate beyond all recognition, ultimately ending in a brutal double homicide.
This brings us to Part 3, Forensics and Mental State, Analyzing the Aftermath. From an investigative standpoint, the forensic timeline here is incredibly revealing. Experts analyzed the scene and determined that the lipstick message was written shortly after the killings took place. This is absolutely critical because it allowed police to quickly nail down a definitive timeline. So the strangulation occurred, the message was drafted almost immediately, and then came the most disturbing phase of all, an entire night spent just sitting beside the victims, which finally culminated in his arrest the following morning.
We actually don't have to guess about the method, because authorities have been very transparent. Additional Superintendent of Police Prashant Chaubey officially confirmed that the preliminary findings pointed directly to strangulation as the cause of death for both Ramsaki and 3-year-old Manvi. He also confirmed that the accused was successfully tracked down and arrested, bringing a swift end to any potential manhunt.
So, where does the case stand right now? Well, the accused is firmly in police custody, and the physical investigation of the scene is still underway. But authorities are taking a very careful look at something beyond just the physical evidence. They are actively evaluating his mental condition. And this is a vital step. Now, a standard mental health evaluation is an assessment conducted to understand a suspect's psychological state. But in this case, it's particularly important due to the chilling calm he displayed. I mean, think about his bizarre post-crime behavior. Remaining in the room for hours on end with the bodies, taking the time to carefully craft a psychological confession in lipstick on the wall. It forces investigators to ask some really complex questions about his state of mind before, during, and after the act. As this investigation unfolds and more forensic details come to light, it leaves us grappling with a very heavy reality. The evidence left on the walls of Ward Number 8 gives us the who and the how. But the profound why behind such a chilling, unprecedented calm, that is a psychological puzzle authorities are going to be unraveling for a long time. It leaves us with a haunting question to end on today. When domestic volatility turns into calculated brutality, how well do we ever really know what goes on behind closed doors?